Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with space. Did you know that space is not really empty? We normally think of outer space as a vacuum, devoid of anything. And it's true that space is a vacuum, but saying that it has nothing is also wrong. What we think of as emptiness of space is actually filled with so much stuff. Any point in outer space could be filled with any of the following. It could be filled with gas clouds just floating around, or dust that was broken off from various celestial bodies. An actual wind of charged particles from stars could be going past. Light from stars, which behaves like particles in space, cosmic rays, the radiation left behind after the Big Bang, gravity, electric and magnetic fields, neutrinos, nuclear reactions, and it just goes on and on. It's amazing just how much stuff is up there, and it's packed with it. But the thing is that we cannot see that stuff. It is stuff that we have learned to measure with our instruments, and hence we know it's there. Now, today's episode is about a different kind of space. A line that has become very popular recently is an expression called holding space, as in the context of holding space for a friend. For example, if a friend is going through something difficult in their life and just wants to share it with someone, or if a lover has had a hard day at work and just wants to tell you about it. What is interesting is that sometimes the person who is going through a rough patch might not want to talk about it at all. They might just want to sit with you in silence and might just want to be held. Now, you might be listening to this and wondering what is so difficult about this. All of us think of ourselves as good listeners or good receivers. However, in truth, we all suck at it. We are terrible at holding space for people. And this is because when we're holding space for someone, we have to put our feelings to the side. If our own feelings come into the conversation, then we've taken over, and now the conversation is about us and not about the person we're supposed to be holding space for. The second way we screw up is by desperately trying to give advice to the person. If someone shares something with us, we immediately try and give him or her advice. We try and solve the problem. Men especially get into this stage by default. And I do this at times as well. But once I became sensitive to this, it stopped. And then I would always ask if they wanted advice or just wanted to be heard. So that is the trick. Always ask, what is it that they want? Do you want advice in this situation, or do you just want to be heard? And that's what I gave them. And the third way we screw up holding space for someone is by letting our judgment seep into the conversation. When someone needs to talk, it is normally because they cannot publicly express what they did or are going through. It is sensitive information, and sometimes this information might go against our belief systems. In our heads, we might start thinking, oh, but this is wrong. How could he or she do such a thing? We are letting our judgment come to the surface. The other person now can immediately pick this up. They can pick it up from our body language or from the way that we say certain things. When we agree to be there for someone or hold space for someone, we have to make sure that these things are taken care of. Making sure that we do not let our feelings come in the way. Making sure that we do not start giving advice. And making sure that we do not judge the other person through our belief systems. This is particularly important when people are going through a rough patch in their life and come to you for support. All you have to do is just be there for them, listen, and nothing else. Just listen. Don't try and put yourself in their shoes. Don't try to solve their problems. Just being there for them is all the help they need. So your super simple habit starts by learning how to hold space for someone. It will be uncomfortable at first, especially if the person just does not want to talk and all they want to do is sit there. All you have to do is be there with them. Make them feel seen or heard, and that is all. With practice, you will become better at holding space for your friends, family, lovers, and even strangers. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.